You know you have always been alone and excluded. You don't know why, but that's just how it was. The only thing you knew was that you couldn't fit in with other people. It felt like they were not your people, as if they were living in a different universe. You never felt like you belonged here. Actually, it all started at home. The family arguments, the disrespect, the fights, they drained you and your life energy. Actually, you should know that. What you go through and what you consume eventually shows on your face. You were just a little kid. Even though you thought you were guilty, you simply tried to communicate with the outside world the way you had learned from your family, but it didn't work. You couldn't show love to anyone, because you had never really received to love yourself. You were bullied, you felt lonely, you were scared, you were afraid to talk to people, and you watched them being happy with each other. For the first time, you thought you were loved. You thought they were playing with you and becoming your friends. But in reality, they were making fun of you. You were just a clown. You were nothing more than a source of entertainment for them. You tried to protect your mother because she always sad. Your father was always angry. He always hurt your mother. And you couldn't protect her. That's completely natural. You were just a little kid. But that guilt stayed inside you. You grew up wiping your mother's tears. Then you started high school. Everything changed. Everything became even worse. You still couldn't understand the language of the people around you, and you couldn't talk to them. But you tried, and it didn't work. You were alone. You devoted yourself to songs, emotions, words, and dreams. You couldn't focus on your classes. You had no purpose. You were lonely. You knew you were not wanted, but you had never made anyone else feel those emotions. Actually, that's God's greatest injustice. You are tested with things far worse than anything you have ever made someone else go through. You hated yourself, you hated your childhood, you wanted to change everything. But you should know that one day you will miss all of it. High school was coming to end, everything was still same, but inside you, there was only darkness. During your final year, you met a girl. She was amazing. In this world that never felt like it belonged to you, she felt like the one only thing that did. Love had completely blinded you. She was amazing, kind, chill, sweet, compassionate, intelligent, beautiful, gentle and smart. When she was there, you couldn't see anyone else. Or was it just an illusion? Was she just like everyone else? You were seeing some signs, but you ignored them. You kept lying to yourself. It was too difficult. You couldn't believe it. For the first time in your life, you thought you had found something that truly belonged to you, but it turned out that it never did. You can't believe it. It drives you insane. It's disgusting. You want to scream. But no, everyone keeps telling you she's not special. Eventually you understand. Barely, somehow, but by then, it's too late. Now you have nothing. While she is happy with the people around her, now you have lost. You have lost both her and yourself. Now your heart is shattered and your soul is pitch black. Once, despite the darkness of the world around you, your world was still full of color. Now it was completely black. And that's your fucking story.
Think you're man enough to fight me, you little shit? Yeah, 'cause you're a drunk piece of shit, Dan.
You're both drunk pieces of shit! Both of you sit the f down!
But the children in this home live in a world.
Down on the ground. Let's go. Let's move. Get down now.
No, my babies! Don't take my babies!
You're hurting my arm.